As you continue to evaluate how the pieces of the puzzle fit for your pitching staff, do you feel like you're seeing combinations that you like more than others?
I think at first glance, it's easy to look at the combinations and they've worked. But I think for us, every time we decide to kind of use guys, piggyback, however you want to put it, I don't think that, there's one sort of combo that we like or two. I think the beauty of it is that it's unlimited options on how we want to deploy guys. So I think the main thing is, getting these guys into innings to then piggyback or open. It's sort of game dependent, lineup dependent.
You mentioned earlier today regarding a couple of relievers, Grove and Almonte. Do you believe Grove can be part of this equation in October, or do you still need to see what it looks like?
We're going to give Michael every opportunity. I think that tomorrow, he should be active tomorrow, and then he'll be able to go multiples, which is good. What we've seen from Michael this year, he's been great. He does something different. It's a different throw. It's a plus slider with the fastball, so he's unique in that sense, so he's going to get every opportunity.
As far as Almonte, is that best case scenario that he could be available to you if you continue to advance?
Yeah, I think so. I think he had a simulated game today, which 23 pitches, something like that, came out of it well. I think the next one is scheduled for Monday or Tuesday of next week. And so I think with Yancey, I think best case scenario would be if we're fortunate enough to get to the CS.
How kind of close are you to knowing what the pitching group's going to look like for the postseason at this point?
I honestly, I don't think it's much closer than I would have, thought a week ago. So I think some of it is team dependent. I think the performance for all these guys has been very consistent. Like I said before, it's going to be some tough decisions, but as an organization, that's a good thing for us.
With the piggybacking, are there certain combinations that work better based on guys' stuff, like showing a lineup one guy and then matching another, or is that all
I think so.
fluid?
Yeah, I think so. I think that obviously the first glance is a lefty, then a righty, but there's also different throws, and I think the whole thought behind it is giving opponents a different look and not trying to give them the same look. And if we can vary those looks, as much as feasible, give us a chance.
We've talked about the idea of scripting pitching plans. Is the way you're approaching this postseason going to maybe lend itself to more of a script than if you had starting pitchers to go with?
Yeah. I think to that question, yes. But there's no script as far as which guy. I mean, I think that it's sort of how the game plays out, how it's playing out, to then who to kind of go to versus a guy's going to cover 6 innings and you've got leverage guys at the back end. So I think that there's more sort of manipulation. I think the script is you're going to use multiple arms, but I don't think it's going to be that defined.
That's a lot of improvisation that we haven't seen from this team. How comfortable are you with all that?
I don't think we have a choice. It's one of those things that we have a lot of young players that have gotten opportunities, and sometimes you're in a position that this is where we're at, and you make the best of it. And I couldn't be more excited with what we've done with our young pitchers and what they've done themselves. And so with this, as far as that point, it's going to be fun to kind of see how we deploy guys to prevent runs. It's exciting.
We use right in a lot of different ways. I mean, is there a way that you feel like fits best in October, just considering how sort of versatile he can be, but also just how beneficial he's been whenever he's been stretched out for longer outings?
I think the great thing is that you can always shorten, and if it's a longer run, as we've seen him get up to 85 pitches, or it's a shorter run in a big spot. We believe he can do that. So I think that the versatility of Yarbs is the thing that's most valuable.
Is there a scenario where we use them in different roles within the same series? Just because
Absolutely. He's a guy that I think that can handle it. He's seasoned. He's done it a lot. So he's a guy that certainly we feel like we can use in different roles. Yeah.
Dave, beyond the pitching, you guys have younger players all throughout the roster, guys like James Outman specifically. What advice have you given him or the younger guys about what this experience in the DS is going to be like for them?
You know what? I haven't. I'm more leaning on their teammates to talk about that. I trust James. I trust a lot of these young players that they'll be able to respond to the environment, the stakes. But yeah, I don't know, because sometimes a manager talking to him about certain things might add more anxiety. So I think that the organic conversations that I expect these guys to have will be more beneficial.
And I know you spoke about it a couple of games ago, but what can you say about the mental tenacity of Bobby and how it's developed over the course of this season?
He is very tenacious. He's very tough. I do like the way it's more controlled. I think that he got ignited really quickly throughout his young career. I'm sure in the minors, but I think that he's understanding how to channel those emotions. But make no mistake, this guy he's a killer out there, and he always feels that he's the best option with the baseball.
Dave, being Mariachi Joe Night, have you seen the mural? What do you think about it?
I have not seen the mural, so I got to make sure I
It'll
check.
make you smile.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everything about Joe makes me smile, so I'm sure they've done a great job with the mural. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you. I think anything's possible, Claudia, but I still see him at some point, coming out of the pen. But if something changes, we feel comfortable with him starting a game. But I think right now we still have time, but he's doing a great job.
Do you have a comp? Have you had a guy like Yarbrough that you could use in those ways?
I think the only comp we've had and he sort of looks like him from the back, is Alex Wood. A guy that you can use in longer relief, who can start, gets left, gets right out. He's got a good head, very confident in his abilities, but if you need him for a short snippet, and Alex Wood helped us win a World Series, and so that's my comp.